following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to this week's episode of the Hallmark of Greatness podcast, a podcast dedicated to highlighting the beauty of all the Hallmark, Lifetime, straight-to-TV movies that don't get the admiration they fully deserve. I'm Anthony Burke, and with me as always are the runners-up in the Dick and Dom lookalike competition. He's currently enjoying a finger-licking bucket of KFC. It's Joe Higgins.
Don't call me Crouton.
And he's just been banned on Twitter after sending online abuse to lovable celebrity Rob Brydon. It's Craig Lowe.
You've got to get the followers somehow, haven't you? Good or bad.
I hope I'm Dom in the Dick and Dom situation there.
Hey, whichever
And
one you want to be.
who else was competing? Dick and Dom?
Oh, is it like
Oh,
that,
they can hurt.
that Elvis Presley story? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd like to keep up to date with all things Hallmark of Greatness, you can follow the show on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, Instagram at Hallmark of Greatness, or if you'd like to get in touch with any recommendations, thoughts, or anything you think we may have missed, you can email the show at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com and find us on Facebook by searching for Hallmark of Greatness. It's halfway to Christmas month.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
we've
it
done
is.
no Christmas films.
Oh, we've done no Christmas.
Yeah. But we're going to make up for it
Technically,
because this is a Christmas film. It's called,
No, the Christmas is in the title. I think by the rules of Christmas films, this is not a Christmas film.
I'm not getting into the is Die Hard a Christmas film argument.
No.
But this has a similar
Yeah. If you
shortcoming in it.
remove Christmas from the equation, the film still functions as is.
Yep.
It doesn't, because it's just called Eve then.
Well, it's
It-
just
it'd
a
just be-
normal day in New York City.
It could just be called Lift Pricks. couldn't
Yeah.
it? Elevator knobheads. Or in one very, very specific incident, the lift of abuse. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rape.
Yeah. We don't like that lift at all.
No, every
we
time we
don't.
go back to that lift, it's like, oh.
I genuinely thought,
What's
I'm going to
he
see,
do?
this is not a Christmas film.
No. No. Do you want to get straight into it then? Let's get this over and done with.
Let's do
This
this.
is a garbage film.
This is a bad
Christmas
film.
Eve. This was a bad film.
2015/16, because I wasn't sure when it came out. Yeah. Christmas Eve.
When it was 2015.
Starring Sir Patrick Stewart.
Starring? Are we really saying starring? I know we put his
There
name
was a
on the
lot
top
of
of the poster.
big-ish names
but
in there.
Big-ish.
recognisable at the very least. Yeah.
There's recognisable
I mean, the
compared
fact that...
compared to regular Hallmark Lifetime movies, yeah.
Well, yeah. My synopsis for Christmas Eve. Susan Christmas works in a job in advertising, but hates it and remains unhappy with her life, seeing that her best friend, Susan Easter, gets the man and job and horse of her dreams. But her world is turned upside down when Chip Eve, a local topiary expert and bird lawyer, asks for help to set up a charity auction for some local daft kids. Will Christmas come early this year? Wink. It's a bit more steamy, this one. This is like a Mills and Boone style one.
Proper Harlequin stuff.
Did you have anything, Craig, based on poster?
What, based on the poster, I've got Jean-Luc Picard, Napoleon Dynamite, and the boss from Office Space join 3 other randos in a magical elevator this Christmas.
Yep.
I was a million miles off.
The fact that on the poster it says Sir Patrick Stewart is an automatic red flag that this is going to be a terrible film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
I'd like to know
one.
if you have in Craig
Go on.
Facts if he owed money to the IRS or something, because I have no idea why he would pick to do this film otherwise.
As far as I can tell, because there
Mates
isn't
with Larry
a great
King,
deal.
surely.
There isn't a great deal of facts on this. He did join the cast 3 weeks into filming, if that's any sort of indication. And the amount of time he's in the film, it's almost as if they bumped into him somewhere in Bulgaria where this was filmed.
So it's sort of like he went, you won't have to interact with any of the little people,
No.
Captain Picard. You'll just be on your own in a lift, in a green screen lift.
In
You'll film it in a day.
It's not like they needed we'll get to it in a bit, but we felt like they needed his character.
He brought nothing to it.
No.
His entire story was pointless.
Yes.
Also, just so I get it out of the way here, can Patrick Stewart please stop doing accents? There is not a single film where Patrick Stewart can pull off an accent.
Isn't he British?
Was he trying to do?
He is British.
So why was he doing such a bad British accent?
Exactly.
I didn't
It was just the overacting.
understand.
He was trying to do an Alan Sugar.
Oh, do you reckon?
I think he was trying to pull off Alan
right.
Sugar.
Don't say that.
He was closer to Leeds than London with the accent. And again, Patrick Stewart should only talk as Patrick Stewart. You're hiring him for one reason, because he sounds like Patrick Stewart.
Make it so. Yeah,
Indeed.
that's what you want. Go on, what's the actual synopsis? Because I'm going to guess it's nothing to do with the actual film.
Kind of, but it starts badly. Hilarity, romance, and festive spirit prevail. No, it doesn't.
Lies!
When six New Yorkers get trapped in an elevator on Christmas Eve, there's an exclamation point at that there, and I don't know why.
Christmas Eve!
Genuinely in the narrative. Forcing the likes of a heartless real estate tycoon, a crass HR manager, his ex-employee, and a cynical doctor to reconsider the way they think about others.
Also,
that
a band
makes it seem like
for
they're
no
all in the
reason.
same elevator.
That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be like they were all going to have like a John Hughes style awakening.
Yeah.
Nope.
I thought they were all going to be terrible people who realise that they're terrible people in the lift together.
But all their stories interweave, and so it was like, oh, you're little Jimmy's boy or something.
We'll play a fun game of how all six of these connect at the end of this. Because
I still don't understand how some of them are connected.
They all very tenuous.
Very loosely.
Are they? Those two girls, are they connected to anyone?
No, but they're lifters. Each lift is interconnected.
Oh, fucking hate this. I'm going to put the trailer for this at the end because I don't want to sit through it.
Yay!
It's like 2.5 minutes and I hate this film.
What could possibly be in it?
I mean, I can put it on if you want.
No.
Right, I'm pressing play.
I'm guessing it's all of Patrick Stewart's scenes.
Right, you asked for it.
Why did I ask?
It's 2 minutes and 15.
James Harris?
Yes.
A reorganization has become necessary, which results in the termination of James Harris.
Well, I'm getting fired?
We're leading with John Heder then.
Lead off.
Excellent work.
But it's Christmas Eve.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like?
We're gonna be late. We're always late.
This genuinely makes it sound more exciting than it actually is. Because I'm just imagining this is Iron Man doing all this.
I always knew I would die in an elevator.
That's because the first 4 minutes of that, and then we've got an hour and 30 minutes.
I will fire you, and then make sure that you are fired from your next 3
Fired?
jobs after that. Hello? Hello?
Are you all right in there?
We may just be the last man and woman on Earth.
Why don't you help me get us both out of here?
Yeah.
Ex-employees shall not infringe upon the workspace of company.
I need you to pray for me.
Dear God, if you're there,
He's there.
Dad's gonna kill me when he finds out I was fired.
Laid off.
Stop!
Back off!
Get me God help me.
There's no such
think we've
thing
done
as a
all the
question
Patrick
without an
Stewart
answer.
scenes
You might not know it now, but it's out there, waiting to be found. And when you find it, there's no feeling like it in the world.
This is a long day. It's 2.5 minutes more like.
I feel like I'm sitting through it again.
Merry Christmas.
God bless us, everyone!
Everyone.
I don't remember him saying Happy Christmas to anyone, Patrick Stewart. I think they took that from
didn't.
that time
I
he was in
think so, right?
Scrooge.
He does right at the end when he's when the phone finally rings and he's getting off they're telling him, right, we're turning it on in a minute.
Oh, all right.
He's all very sort of, thank you, and all, Merry Christmas, Governor.
Right. Well,
Larry King presents.
Opens up with a violence warning on Prime, so that's fun, isn't it? Yep. I always make a note now after whatever it was when it was like sex, violence, and drug taking, and there was none of it in the film whatsoever. Larry King presents.
Yeah, the Larry King.
presents.
I literally had to pause and Google to make sure it was the Larry King and not somebody else just called Larry King.
Nope, there's only one Larry King, and this was the last thing he did before he died.
Good work, Larry.
Possibly. I don't know. That's not a fact.
I mean, it was 2015. I'm pretty sure he only died late last year.
Yeah,
but
he carried this shame to his grave.
Craig, you'll know this, possibly.
Go on.
Was it the Killers singing that song as we came in?
It is. I think that's where all the money for this film went.
That's what I wrote. I thought money was spent on this.
A weekend with Patrick Stewart and licensing that Killers Christmas song.
Oof. Right.
That I'd never heard. I just recognised the voice.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't even remember it. It's been a week and a half since I've watched this, so I'm only going off notes and my raw hatred for it.
It's all right. When I watched it today, I reminded you everything.
Yeah, and I've establishing city shots, as we always do in these films. That's nice, isn't it? And then them two annoying women in a lift. They may have had names. I care not.
Through the damn film.
No.
Yeah, I struggle with all the names on this.
Canary and Molly, I want to say.
Why not?
Rhymes with Dolly. Are we playing a game now?
No, that's literally when they do that horrendous, like getting to know you scene where they're all saying what's your name or where you come from.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she says cherry rhymes with canary.
It doesn't.
Brunette one. Yeah. No, it doesn't. Yeah. Hilarity.
Is that the brunette one with the greasy hair?
Yeah. Perfectly cut straight. Perfectly cut.
And we meet James, who is Napoleon Dynamite, John Head. But I will refer to him as Napoleon Dynamite for the rest of this film.
Napoleon Dynamite.
And
Never
then
seen it.
we just cut away to Captain Picard being a jerk on a rooftop.
With a very bad accent.
Massively overacting is what I put in for Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, again,
massively overacting.
He's a good actor. He's done Hamlet and King Lear and stuff, and
almost as if he was given no direction.
Possibly, or he got a free holiday to Bulgaria out of it. Yeah.
Well, that's it. He's just showing up in Bulgaria.
He must have already been there filming something else.
It's got to have been. It's got to have been.
Yeah, he's yelling at people on the roof because he's building a 3-story penthouse on top for himself. And there can't be beams to obstruct his view. And I don't know if he knows how roofs work, because you can't have them hovering.
But he also owns
invisible beams.
The rooms underneath or something.
Yeah, they would have to completely change the 5 floors underneath, and he's like, I own the 5 bloody floors underneath.
I think he's supposed to be like a property mogul. I think he owns all that tower.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually did put that. I put he was trying to be Michael Caine in the Muppets.
Yeah.
But Michael Caine in the Muppets is good.
No, I mean, I think...
the accent.
Yeah.
The accent and acting like an arse at the start.
I honestly thought this was going to be... At first, I thought this was going to attempt to do like a modern-day Scrooge sort of story.
No, that's what I thought when he was acting like Michael Caine in Muppets.
When he was acting, when he was acting like an arse.
I think Patrick Stewart has done like a modern-day version of Scrooge.
Oh, I'm sure Patrick Stewart has done Christmas Carol about 20 times at this point.
Sure. Then we've got a sad man in a lift. Don't know who that is.
No.
Who's the sad man in the lift?
I don't know. I think just what I've got written.
I'm presuming that can only be Creepy Guy.
Napoleon.
No.
He joined later. There was Napoleon Dynamite.
No,
because he's not been.
Gets introduced. Yeah, Sandman gets introduced getting fired, doesn't he?
No, he's not been fired yet.
So
I think it's the guy who gets into the lift whose wife is in the hospital.
Right. Yes. It'll be.
Oh, he's smart. The smart guy.
Allegedly, yes.
It'll be one of the members of the only genuine lift in this entire film.
Yes. We cut to a shitty doctor being shitty, saying, "Oh, she's going to die anyway, so there's no point trying." And I'm like,
"Fuck her." There we go.
First do no harm, eh, mate? Yeah. And then we cut to non-union Charlie Day being shitty in a lift and being a big pervert.
According to the synopsis thing, which I did pull out, he was in The Sopranos and something else. So the boss guy.
Which one?
The boss.
Oh, the guy that fires Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, is that your right?
No, I'm on about the pervert in the lift.
Oh, apologies. My apologies. Yeah, apologies.
Yeah, non-union Charlie Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the best bit in this film happens. It cuts back to Captain Picard on the roof, and he's stood behind a workman who's bent over, and it looks like he's slipping in one. So that's fun. That's the only bit I've just got. Captain Picard is bumming a workman.
He'll be chuckling to himself going, oh, Ian McKellen's going to love this scene.
And then I've just literally got, what is happening? This is just people in lifts.
Welcome to the film.
Oh, there's a car crash as well.
I honestly thought, why are we showing all these people getting into separate lifts? Surely they need to get into their own singular lift at some point for this movie to happen. No.
Nope.
You're allowed one name per lift.
Yeah. And then the van driven by a Mexican man, or a Latino man, we'll say, crashes.
Does a spectacular
for some reason. Why does it crash? I can't even remember why it crashes.
No, he skids, does he? I'm not sure. Does he dodge something?
Was he not looking for something? I thought he was.
He was looking for his
Holy Mary. Yeah, that fell. I think he was looking for that.
But the van has written on it Deus Ex Machina, which is clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
Patting themselves on the back on that one.
The van hits a power transformer, cuts out all the power to the lifts, and electrifies this van. But for some reason, your man inside is safe.
Yeah, even though the tyres are not touching the floor, so he's not grounded.
Nope. But this thing is acting as a conductor to keep the emergency power on to stop the lifts going into free fall, which is not how lifts work.
Yes.
Well, this is where science fiction just goes insane anyway. This is a science fiction movie of the highest caliber because one van knocking out a single transformer in Central Park is not going to knock out fucking that many blocks and buildings in the middle of New York City.
Well, certainly. What it definitely wouldn't do is the hospital lift.
No.
They have many backup generators.
Well, they put in a very clever line of that. Oh, the backup generator's not working at the moment. They're hoping it's going to kick in a minute.
More than one, I'm sure.
Yes, I can guarantee you a major hospital in New York City will have all the generators.
I've written down who's in each of the lifts.
Yeah, I've got the lift list.
I've got rapey guy and pretty girl.
Yes.
I've got creeping woman. Yep. Patrick Stewart.
Napoleon Dynamite and his ex-asshole boss.
Yep, got
that. There's a brass band for some reason, or an orchestra type band.
It's like a six-piece chamber orchestra, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
The hospital who have taken in the woman who's about to die.
Doctors and patients, yep.
And you got two girls, smart guy. They said clean freak, but he's an
art seller, isn't he? He's an art dealer. And
I put stripper man because he was
sexy Santa. I've got
barely dressed. Okay, fair enough.
Nick, his name was. I've got that. I know that because he turns to the camera and goes, "I am Nick." At one point. So Napoleon Dynamite has been fired by his jerk boss, who's that much of a jerk that he's bolted a seat sideways to the floor in his office.
Yeah,
it's an interesting power move.
Is it?
Is it even a power move? It's just
I'd come in and sit backwards on it like Captain America. Yeah, he's not been fired. He's been laid off. That's what he keeps saying.
Laid off, yeah.
But he gets into the lift with Napoleon, and then the lift gets stuck.
Napoleon.
And then the boss yells up, pretending to be a woman, as if that's somehow going to help.
Yeah, saying that he's pregnant. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yes, he's pregnant and he's about to give birth.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Oh, yeah, hang on. We'll
just turn the power back on, then. Yeah,
we'll
sellotape a load of batteries together and plug that in.
Yeah.
Non-union Charlie Day is being a big creep in this because this woman
is so.
Yes,
It's just
he's
the scene of-
instantly got date rape vibes about him. It's like, oh,
I genuinely
I'm talking on the
thought-
phone, but guess what? There's no signal in here, so you're faking texting as well. It's like,
yeah,
well done, you're making
It was-
everyone uncomfortable.
They'll never find your body.
really weird.
It's just, I hated that because I know it was supposed to be him bringing her out of her shell and her teaching him something, but
Yeah,
it just came across as she's like got
she need
fucking
to be-
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
in the hands,
Did she
in
need
the
to come out
hands
of
of
a shell,
better
though?
actors, and with at least 5 minutes of setup, making sure that these characters have bumped into each other in the past. Not that they're two complete randoms. That lift could have worked.
Yeah,
But with
Not the
no
way-
setup,
but-
literally these two people just bumping into each other and him suddenly starting taking photos of her.
That was
Unwanted.
the creepiest bit. He was creepy enough to start with the whole I know you're faking texting because there's no signal in here. Almost saying, so you're screwed.
yeah, I can do whatever I want
Trying
now.
to scream
love.
for help. Yeah. And then he started taking random photos without permission or anything. He just started taking photos with a very
While
large
she was
flash.
sat on the floor,
While she was
obviously
on
in
the
some
floor trying
distress.
to distressed and trying to cover herself up.
Yeah.
And he continues to snap away as if he's having the time of his life.
He's selling them on the internet
It was
later. isn't he?
weird.
We cut back to the annoying lift people, as I dubbed them, which is the two annoying girls. I am Nick.
Yeah.
Brainy man.
Germaphone and Brave.
And they're talking about what their names are and where they were going. And one of the annoying girls says, and I quote, "We were going to a salsa bar to dance with illegal people."
Yes.
That's a genuine line in this film.
Yeah.
Someone wrote that and went, "Yep, that's good. That makes her a relatable person. That makes me someone who I hope that lift doesn't fall to their death." You know.
And I will continue
None
to
of the
say,
characters
this is
in
the
this-
most interesting lift in the entire film. These are the worst people, but this is the most interesting lift.
Yes.
None of them were likable or ended up becoming likable.
I didn't mind Nick because he was just basically an idiot.
Yeah,
I don't
he
mean
was
just
just a big dumb
specific
dumb
lift.
jock.
I just mean just in general.
I mean, none of these people had redeemable
None of it was-
characteristics at all. Napoleon Dynamite was all right.
Yeah, but we barely spend any time with that lift after they discover that they both want to solve the world's energy crisis.
Harness the power of pyramids. Yeah.
With a lot of lines and squiggles pasted onto the wall. Then, yeah, we don't see. We see
a big
we see
question
about
mark
as
in the
much.
middle. Of course there is.
Yeah, we see about as much of them as we do with Patrick Stewart. That's because John Heder only showed up for a weekend as well.
Probably, yeah. In
Patrick
the
Stewart and John Heder were filming something else, weren't they?
yeah,
They were just in
probably.
Bulgaria at the time.
Yeah.
In the pervert lift, the graffiti on the wall says "School sucks, I know," and oxygen. So that's good, isn't it?
So all the kids are doing that doing them O2 graphs.
What isn't "School sucks, I know" a Blink 182 lyric? That's "Work sucks," isn't it?
Yeah, work sucks.
Yeah. So, I got all excited then. I thought I knew popular music for a second.
Yes, popular music.
Popular music circa 2002.
Anything after 96, I don't care.
That's not true, Joe.
Picard is in his lift and refuses to interact with anyone that tries to help him.
Did he just start firing people?
Yeah, I'll fire you, and then the next job I'll make sure you're fired from that as well. Governor Chimney.
You don't have that power.
Yeah.
Speaking of firing, in the orchestra lift, one of them fires a gun off.
Wait, have we got to that bit yet? I genuinely can't remember.
Yeah, we are, because it's the first thing I wrote down. But she fires a gun into this guy to stop some arguing. In that confined space, a very loud gun going off.
Everyone's ears are ringing, yeah.
Oh, you're deaf for a long time.
It's only a tiny little pistol,
Doesn't
but
matter.
yeah, it would still... And as musicians, you'd want to protect your ears.
Yeah. Yes, but as we learn of this list, these are musicians that really don't care about being musicians. I've never heard a classical musician saying, "I'm sick of playing music of all these dead people."
What do you want to do? ABBA?
Yeah.
Megamix?
I'm
The Grease Megamix at someone's wedding?
You're holding out for that Hacienda Classic spot. I'll tell you what, there's only about 2 seats on that, son. Absolute nonsense.
In the medical lift, the two idiot boys the poor man scrubs, we'll call them.
So Zach Braff on the face on, yeah.
Are mucking about with an electric meter and electrocute themselves.
They're trying to reset the board so that the backup generator kicks in. That is the explanation. And then this is why they write the backup generator out, because they overload it by dicking around with a small circuit board in a lift that's already broken.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Jesus.
And then someone opens a lift and it says on the wall, "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here."
I think that's Sexy Santa lift, that one.
Which is from Dante's Inferno, I believe. So that's a bit of highbrow knowledge there as well.
Yeah, but we could only hope that these people had already dead and they're living in some sort of purgatory hell now. But that, again, doesn't happen.
Thought it was going to be like the M. Night Shyamalan film In the Lift. Is that like they were all going to get picked off one at a time and I'd be happy.
Is Dante's Inferno like Dante's Peak?
It's very similar. It's the follow-up to it.
Yeah.
It's the story of that old lady who gets her legs melted off in the thing, pointlessly, 2 foot from shore. It's her life story up to that point.
See Dante's Peak.
Tall man is, the art guy is putting tins of Altoids in his shoe for some reason.
Again, don't understand the whole point of that.
It's never explained either.
I thought he had like treasure on him and he was hiding it in case they tried to rob him.
No, he literally, the last scene of the film is him fishing him out of his shoe and putting him on a
for that woman.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want some sweaty foot sweets? Yeah, all right then.
So yeah, not explained. Don't understand it. Why is he hoarding these tiny mints?
Nope.
No idea.
Lift refusal. Don't know what that means.
It's fun making notes a week previously, isn't it?
That could be Sexy Santa lift, where the Brainiac is trying to argue with the person on the other end of the phone that if he somehow the guy who's on the other end of this phone, a janitor, I presume, is able to rewire all the building's electric to move them out the floor. At which point he hangs up and turns the lights out on the lift.
Which is what you would do. In the annoying lift, I think they're now telling ghost stories to each other.
Yeah.
This is such a shit film.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, guys, if you're listening at home, this is literally how this film plays out. We jump from lift to lift.
It cuts with no rhyme, no reason or anything like that. It's incredibly frustrating. The musicians are all screaming into a shared jacket.
But again, no explanation. We've not been told why.
No. Well, they've already done a fart joke in there, haven't they? The fat guy farted or something, I think.
Yeah, one of them farted, and nobody wants to admit to it, and hilarity.
Oh, and then I think this is where we find out that Napoleon Dynamite is Captain Picard's son. I think he says, "My dad owns a lot of buildings."
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah.
So I don't think it's ever implicitly, but I chose to believe that he was, and that's how
that's that connection. That's the connection between those two lifts.
Yeah, it's such a loose connection.
And then
they're all loose connections.
Patrick Stewart came in 3 weeks later.
One of them's going to the Met. The Doctor's going to the fucking Met, and that's how we tie in those two elevators together.
And then I've got Diarrhoea John. Does someone get diarrhea?
No, one of the medical doctors needs to wee, and that's the entire plot of that entire lift for the longest
I don't know where
time.
Diarrhea John comes from then. I don't know. Maybe I was just writing character names down. I was just naming them because I was bored at this point.
Yeah, maybe you just got bored.
I played a lot of Fruit Ninja during this.
Meanwhile, the van is still conducting electricity and no one can get this guy out.
I liked when the police guy went to rescue him and got electrocuted. That was fun.
Yeah. They're now passing him food through the van window.
With one of them, like, poles. Good. Like a grabber. That's good. Like the Crystal Maze.
Why are we having somebody involved in non-lift situation in this lift film?
Because it was to show that he was involved as well. I think his wife was related to someone.
Crash the van and we're done. Focus on the lift. We don't need.
We have to have the van still there so that it would still explain why none of the lifts are moving yet.
And don't they eat the foot mints next to the burnt out husk of the van?
Yes, they do. Yeah, foot mints are eaten next to like a rectangle of burned grass in the middle of the
probably means something in like in someone's
in the director's mind. This is all symbolism.
Non-union Charlie Day is still a pervert. Then Picard starts yelling and nearly falls to his death
Yeah. Don't
But
know
it's
how.
the same bit of footage twice of the lift falling.
The most poorly constructed construction elevator in the history of New York City.
Yeah, because I was wondering, how did everyone else get down off that lift then?
Thought that. Unless they took the stairs, because he refused to let people use the lift with him.
As a sidebar,
I guess.
This is a building site. There will be no mains hooked up to this building. It will all be run by a generator.
Yeah, it would be generators.
On the roof.
Generators are all shot, mate.
When the van crashed, the wheels hit all the generators in the city. Ah, Christ. I don't know. You'd think they'd have like a manual crank on him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you can swing yourself over into one of the built floors. You're only going outside of the building.
He lives in
Just get Chief O'Brien to teleport you to the ground.
Don't get that reference.
It's a Star Wars Trek joke.
It's a Stargate one.
Yeah, okay.
Dr. Funtime. One doctor believes in God, the other one doesn't.
I really like Gary Cole, who plays the asshole doctor, but in this, he's given nothing to work with.
Nope.
Is he an asshole doctor, or is he just realistic doctor?
I think he's jaded. I think we'd put it down as.
Well, he's in a lift of people who are believers, and he's the only one that says.
Did you say believers?
Yes, I did do a dated Justin Bieber reference.
Okay, sorry. Well, I heard it. That's why it's a
Sorry, that's to tie him back to the other elevator where Cheryl Ladd has Backstreet Boys bed sheets.
Yeah, that is a fact. She just says she loves boy bands, which I can understand. Yeah. We all remember Email. If you don't remember Email, they were the roller skating dungaree wearing boy band of the early 90s with their song "We Are Email."
I don't know who Email are.
Oh, mate,
it was a fun find, that one.
We are Email. We just can't fail. If you're young, single, female,
good. Come
and have a go on our roller skates. They all had names. One of them was Enigma. One was like Elite. It was great. It was shit.
It was proper Y2K nonsense. It was beautiful.
But they all had roller skates on. It was like really, really, really bad like Starlight Express.
Yeah, an early naughty Starlight accessory route.
He's put more Altoids in his shoe. Her hair is so greasy at this point. Even the illegal people wouldn't dance with her.
She's continuously brushing. That's all she does. She was literally given a comb as a prop just to go.
Just made me feel awful.
Does that make your hair greasy?
Fiddling with it does, yeah.
I know, I'm asking the wrong person.
You are asking the wrong person.
Yes. Napoleon Dynamite is a secret genius, as it turns out.
Yeah, he's got all the plans to save the world.
He has the plans to
electricity-wise?
Give free electricity or something to people?
I didn't quite understand the bit where it says we'll get it to you, delivered to your doorstep, and then after that.
It was like, well, why would we don't need to get it into people's homes. They can get their stuff charged from outside. And it's like, I'm sorry, are we going to like one of these charging banks that are in the Trafford Centre and just plugging in our mobile phones to charge up? Is that what we're pitching here?
I think every house gets one free box of electric a day, but you've got to pick it up from the doorstep because they can't. COVID, innit?
Is it? Like the milkman, got to leave like an egg cup on top so the birds don't eat the electric, so you can still watch Corrie later in the night.
Have you used all the electric up? Captain Picard, why are you in this?
Why, oh why? Now you're just crying in a lift.
Charlie Day's creepy. I think at this point he's trying to bribe her to take photographs by giving her chocolate.
Is this not where he gives her an unwanted makeover? You look.
But all to get the chocolate though.
Yeah, she's
hungry. Yeah.
She could be diabetic, and he still holds on to it.
I sort of tuned out every time this lift was on, and when I tuned back in when the lift was on, something equally more creepy was happening. And I was just like, no.
I just kept writing down the word "nothing" here. Was nothing to do with Christmas. Nothing's happening. Nothing. And
it's just impossible to follow. I mean, you return to like Patrick Stewart like 4 times in this entire film. You go into like the band and oddball lift at least 20 times, and you're just back and forth in there.
I think that's because they've got more people to have dialogue with. It's hard to act on your own.
Actual banter in some of these lifts. I mean, none of it's any good. But the band lift and the eclectic lift were the only two ones that was like, oh, I don't mind watching a bit more of this because something genuinely interesting might actually happen. Yeah, and it does occasionally in both those lifts.
Yeah. Back to the van outside.
God.
Our Latino man's wife has arrived.
Yeah.
Don't know why. That doesn't go anywhere. In case he dies, so she can watch him die.
Yeah. Well, she nearly does later on in the worst rescue scene in film history.
Electric is also fire.
Yeah.
It's not. In Pokemon, it's not, is it? No.
This is why you're not allowed to use your phones at petrol stations.
Is that why? Picard's lift drops.
Finally figured it out.
Picard's lift drops again. It's the same footage over and over and over again. One of the doctors is doing meditation because he needs to pee.
He's trying to show the other guy.
And then he's trying
to show Turk how to meditate to avoid thinking about needing to pee. And asked him to get stabbed in the neck with it.
And then stabs him in the neck.
Yeah.
Which is a good bit, but it just made me go.
Yeah. And then he just gurns for about 3 minutes. I was like, well, that's at least another 3 minutes of the running time gone.
And it wakes up the girl who's come out of surgery, who's about to die anyway.
Well,
she's got a couple of weeks left.
And then, I don't know what this means, but again, Mr. Sunday the goldfish?
No, I've got this. This is in Eclectic Lift, where they're talking to Sexy Santa about all his tattoos. And he points at one and says, that's me granddad. And it's like a picture of a dead tree. And then he points at the other one. And it's like, that's a goldfish. And it's like the most elaborate arm tattoo of a goldfish.
It's a big koi card thing, yeah.
Yeah, and he says, and he still doesn't know what he wants to say. And it's literally a speech bubble with a question mark on top of it. And I was just like, what is this? Yes. What is tattoo? What is film?
But he has a tattoo on him that one of the musicians has a matching one.
Oh, does he?
Really?
I didn't notice that.
Yes, I think the lady that plays Sexy Silent Night, I think she's got a matching tattoo on her wrist.
Oh, because he says it's an ex-girlfriend.
The one on his chest, I thought it was a very sort of Twin Peaksy. We're not explaining it because it was like there's a backstory to this, but we've not written it, so it's going to be all mysterious.
Yeah, because Greasy Hair says, "Oh, what's that one?" And he's like, "I don't want to talk about it" or something. But yeah, I think one of the musicians it's either Sexy Violin Lady or the other violin player.
Sexy Violin Lady probably makes sense because she's the only one that really has an arc in that lift, where she comes out of a shell and like performs the shit out of Silent Night for 5 minutes.
Yeah, she rocks the fuck out of that.
What's the first song they play in that lift?
I think it's probably some freeform jazz standard or something.
Yeah, it's non-royalty requiring Christmas ditty because we spent all our music budget on the Killers.
On the Killers at the start.
One song,
yeah. The musicians, they have a sing song, and then they get into a big argument about water.
Yes, one of them's got a water bottle.
One of them's got half a bottle of water, and it's like, "Oh, we're going to share it." It's like, why is this lift now a communist society where we're all going to share your water?
At one point,
water.
Doesn't Larry King's wife pull a gun out and threaten her to give her the water?
That's Larry King's wife.
How quickly the world... Her with a gun. I'm sure that's Larry King's wife.
Is that Larry King's wife?
Yes.
Yeah, Larry King's wife is in this film. That's, again, the only reason this film exists.
I recognise the one with the gun. She's in other things.
Yes, she is.
But I didn't realise that was Larry King's wife. Okay.
I don't think it's that one, but she is one of the people in the band lift.
Oh, okay. I assumed it was her because she had the biggest part in it.
No, she's actually an actress. She's been in other things.
I thought I recognised her from
but I think she might be Sexy Violin Lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a song, and there is still 35 minutes of this film left.
Oh, I kept pausing this film so often to see how long was left, and it was just like, how?
They have a pray in the medical lift.
Yeah.
He agrees to have a pray, even though God's not there. Again, this is never brought back up again.
Pay attention. This is the only reason this film exists. I can guarantee you this scene is the only reason this film exists.
Yeah, probably.
When we get into Craig facts.
Okay.
Non-union Charlie Day keeps calling her Dimples, which annoyed me. Because it's like, sorry, what is your name? We've been in this lift for 4 hours now. I guess, you could, and even if it's not your name, Margaret, Susan, whatever, tell me your name.
Make it fake a name if you don't want this creep.
But she didn't, that's what she just didn't want to tell him.
Also, say, I'm sorry, my boyfriend wouldn't approve of this sort of nonsense.
Just got me later on with when we find out that she has a boyfriend.
Yeah, but like, would you want to rile him up? Like,
true, he was being very creepy.
No man, I'll want you now. It'd be that sort of thing, wouldn't it? You know what? Yeah.
He'd probably told her he's got to be dead anyway. So those two left.
Oh yeah, because at one point he does say we could be the only two people left on Earth.
It's in the trailer. Then
and I'm like, you're only in a lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in fake conversation at the start where he's fake talking into his phone.
Hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, get me out of creep lift now.
All the musicians start doing bits, which I thought was quite good. To be fair, they all had a go, didn't they? They all had their little 2 minutes in the spotlight. And then back in the creepy lift, she puts makeup on him. He doesn't like it. I want to die.
Yeah. Why is this? Why do we need this lift?
Why do you need any of them?
Why do we need the film?
Yeah. Yep. I think we were talking about it earlier, but it felt like they were trying to do like a Love Actually kind of tie-in.
They were trying to do
but it was done so.
Yeah, it's because these were the style after Love Actually. There was like Valentine's Day and Christmas Day and all those.
New Year's Eve, New Year's Eve one, but they were at least done well enough to pass. Yeah, but this was just
but that's what happens when you get a good writer. When you get a bad writer,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
who thinks that he's writing for The West Wing, but he isn't. Because
how can I refer to like Spanish or Latino people? I'll write illegals. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been going on about this. The brainy guy's been going on about the bottle problem, which is there's a coin in a bottle with a cork at the top. How do you get the coin out without changing the bottle? Yeah. And I don't know whether this is supposed to be a metaphor.
No, it's a primary school riddle. As soon as he said it, I was like, "What's the cork for?"
Yeah, well, I thought that. But
but I'll give it this much: it gives it's giving interaction that we can keep coming back to. It's giving a recurring bit to the lift where the people are where there's character development and people are coming closer. That lift actually has a full lift of character development where they all hate each other at the start and they're actually all quite close by the end of it.
Yes.
Yeah, but at one point they did play charades, which was just.
None of the people in the lift could solve it. It was the man who was yelling at them that they're going to be rescued shortly who solved it.
It was, yeah.
So I'm assuming that was like, oh, you're free now because we've solved this riddle for you. Napoleon Dynamite slaps his boss, which I thought was fun. They have a slap fight in the lift, which is good. This is where we get the rocking version of Silent Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a bit I genuinely did like was the imaginary art tour.
Yes.
Yeah,
that showed a certain amount of creativity.
Yeah, it was pretty well done, that, and the fact that they were all into it, and it was like, this could have been quite good.
Yeah, this is what happens when you have a nugget of an idea in your screenplay.
So they have like an imaginary art tour because that's what the musicians were going up to do the music for the art.
Yes.
And the man with the mints in his shoes was like the curator of this.
Yes, he was the one who was like the head speaker or something like that. He was going to give the talk.
Yeah.
What's the photographer? Creepy photographer going there to take pictures?
No, he just said he took pictures of dead people from the morgue.
That lift is the John Heder connection because she's the girlfriend of John Heder.
Yes.
So that lift isn't left out on its own,
which we don't find out
being
till later.
Rapey.
Right.
Yeah, which we don't find out till the last 3 minutes.
I want to get onto that in a bit. I've got a bone to pick with that one.
Oh, then all the action happens. Some more action happens. For some reason, the van catches fire.
The elaborate, we're tunneling under to try and get the electric to flow somewhere else is done. So they're trying to lift.
Electricity works the same as water.
Yeah. So we're lifting the van up. As we're lifting the van up, the fuel line breaks in a Back to the Future sort of way. Just starts pissing down on the floor. And then all of a sudden, just electricity equals fire.
And now earlier. The Spanish man is on fire. And I was like, yay! Now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere.
Well, he comes out of the van, clutching his, what was it he was after? I can't remember what it was now.
It was a little Mary statue, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was like a saint.
Clutching that whilst being heavily on fire. And no one does anything apart from one guy just randomly sprays some water.
Yeah, but
He's
the
a
grass is
hot
still
tamale.
electric. The grass might still be electric, Anthony.
That's true, yeah.
That's true, yeah.
You've done your fire training at work, haven't you?
Yeah,
You know,
even
electrical
though this
fire,
man-
you use powder.
grass electrical fires.
Even though he's on fire and running across, obviously not getting electrocuted, everyone's standing back like, might still be a problem,
don't touch
lads.
this guy.
He's electric.
The detective guy who's come to help is incredibly stoic, even though he's just nearly burnt a man to death through his actions.
Another job well done this Christmas in New York.
What a guys.
They rescue the musicians. They all have a kiss, and she fires a gun in the air
3 times.
because that's the American way.
She's Yosemite Sam.
Also, there's the same news crew in front of every lift. It's the same woman with a microphone, the same cameraman, and the same guy with a boom.
What you're telling us, Craig, is that these all happened at different times, and it was just a dream.
Yeah, almost as if this film wasn't real.
Right, everyone's moving, and then there's a cop with very weird eyes.
All right.
Could be anywhere.
One of them is Nick's wife. That's the news. Oh, as they're leaving the lift, Dimples says that her name is Anne, and non-union Charlie Day says, "Okay, Annie," and I'd have just fucking chinned him at that point. I'd have been like, "No, it's Anne."
Yeah.
Also, I'm reporting you.
Yeah.
You'll be on a register.
Makeup off me.
They all leave. They're all the people in like the quirky lift are like, "We're going to go and get drinks or something."
The 2 girls and
Nick,
sexy Santa.
Well, this is technically now Christmas Day.
Yes,
everything's shut.
So it's Christmas morning, even in
It's
New
like
York.
6, I think they said it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Christmas. It had to be Christmas Day because everything was Christmas Eve the night before.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they go off.
Yeah.
The people in the lift, the medical lift, one of them has pissed himself.
Yep.
Yes.
So he rides off on a bike.
He rides off on a bike. Despite working in a hospital, he's seen people pooing and weeing pretty much daily.
Also,
he's a student.
Yeah, that's all he does.
You could also fully explain it if anyone says, "Have you pissed yourself?" I was stuck in that lift for 8 hours.
I've been in the lift for 8 hours. I didn't want to wee in the corner because there was a girl who just had a medical procedure done.
And also, he's only wearing scrubs. All he needs to do is go into the staff lounge and pick a fresh pair off the enormous pile of scrubs.
You know what it's like? Your legs will be all chapped. So he
don't-
gets
what
on
you
a
don't
bike
do,
and rides off.
Yeah.
No, ride on a bike, 'cause that's going to chaff even more, isn't it?
Yeah. To be run over by Patrick Stewart.
As the brainy guy arrives.
Because his wife is the woman who had just had the operation to remove
Who's going
the
to
tumor.
die. So happy
Well, she had a
Christmas.
tumor and they didn't remove it because it was too big. I don't know.
Looks like hard work probably for that lazy biffer.
I think what they said was the only explanation is the tumor did too much damage.
Okay.
And we didn't see it on the MRI. That amount of damage, you're going to see on the MRI, son.
But yeah. So
Patrick Stewart is in his limo with coffee.
yeah,
The thing has to break. The limousine has to break because the guy on the bike gets run over.
the guy on the
And-
bike who's just pissed himself in the lift.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is how they link together. He literally
that's
nearly
shocking.
kills him with a vehicle accident.
You got the doctor from the lift. His wife has turned up and because they were supposed to go to the Met, and it looks like they're still going to go because she's pretty dressed up at 6 o'clock.
She's dressed up. She's been waiting all night in a fancy frock outside the hospital going, this lift's not coming, is it?
No.
And Altoid Shoes goes and sits on a park bench, and one of the musician ladies
sits down next to him.
Sits next to him. Oh, the lady with the gun and one of the other musicians are now dating as well.
Yes.
Because they walk off arm in arm.
Yeah.
Yep. He declares his love for her in the lift, and she reciprocates.
I hate it.
Yeah.
If this all seems confused, listener, that this is exactly how you'll feel watching it because it all happens.
I would say don't watch it. Watch Muppets Christmas Carol. It's better.
And then, we get to the point, the my bone of contention, where John what's it called? John?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Napoleon Dynamite goes and has breakfast with his ex-boss, it looks like.
Yes.
I think he's rehired now.
Yeah. But we also find out
I
that
think they're going to do their own startup now by the sounds of things.
we find out that Anne, was his girlfriend.
Yep.
Yes.
And she was they don't contact each other until he's already sat down having a lovely breakfast. She rings him and says, 1, happy birthday. 2, Merry Christmas.
It's Napoleon Dynamite. Jesus.
Yeah, and then explains that she couldn't get to the party because she was stuck in the lift. But so was it. You'd contact each other instantly.
You couldn't. She had no cell phone reception, did she?
As soon as you step out the lift, you'd be
battery's
why
dead, mate.
Why has my boyfriend not got in touch with me? I've been missing all night because I was supposed to go to a party. 2, if he's not contacted me, what's happened to him? And vice versa, obviously.
I mean, you're looking for...
I can talk away on this.
Stupid.
They've only been seeing each other for 6 weeks. They're sort of getting to like each other, but they're
supposed
not
to meet him at a party. It's his birthday on Christmas Day. He's gone for breakfast with his now partner.
He's found a place in New York where he can get a fry-up breakfast on Christmas Day morning.
Well, it annoyed me more than it should.
Yep.
Credits.
What the actual fuck was that all about? I am legitimately angry I've wasted my time.
What did you give it out of 10?
What did I give Breaking Legs?
Breaking Legs. I gave that a 0.1. You gave it a 1. Craig gave Breaking Legs a 2.3.
Yeah, this is getting a 1.3 from me, this one.
It was better than Breaking Legs? So...
Worse than... No, this was worse than Breaking Legs.
What did you say then, Craig?
No.
1.3.
Wow. Wowzers.
I'm going to 1.5.
I'm going 1.5.
It was fucking...
But that gets a lot more than my 0.1 for Breaking Legs.
The film needs to consist of a beginning, a middle, and an end, not a 5-minute intro, 90 minutes of talking, and then a conclusion.
Yeah, it committed the cardinal sin for me of being boring.
Congratulations to our second worst film.
Someone nominated that on... I'm going to stop doing polls on Twitter because they can't be trusted.
And the polls have just lost as well to the back of you.
Sports.
Right, I did the bare minimum for this because by the time this film finished, I just wanted this to be out of my system.
Yep,
so let's
understandable.
Patrick Stewart, he's been in Star Trek. Well done, everyone.
Yep,
the one with the Jedis.
That's the one, yeah. He was also, going on his IMDb, he was also in an episode of Coronation Street in 1967 as a fire officer. So there's a fun fact for you.
I'd like to see the picture of that.
Yeah, if you look it up online, he's there in like a big oversized fireman's helmet and a dodgy little tash. It's great.
That's adorable.
Say again. No,
Captain Picard was in Coronation Street in 1960
1967.
That must have been quite early on in that run then.
66 it started, didn't it?
Yeah, so it would have been it was only one episode, but like a little walk-on bit for him. Right at the start
there are 4 fires, he says.
So yeah, we're not going into that. John Heder was, of course, John Heder in this film. Better known for his successful films, The Little Penguin, Pororo's Dinosaur Island Adventure.
That's what I know him from.
Surf's Up 2, Wave Mania, which is the one which has all the WWE wrestling superstars in it.
I've never seen that.
Look forward to that one on your other podcast, Joe.
Yeah.
As a wrestling connoisseur.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed.
And also star of Tremors 7, Shrieker's Island.
Blades of Glory.
No, I've not seen any of those films.
Isn't Tremors 7 like the reboot though, where it's basically the first film again? But
no, this is the conclusion. It's where they finally Bert finally gets killed off at the end of 7.
Oh.
John Heder's in it because he couldn't get Jamie Kennedy, if that's a good enough reason.
He couldn't get Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy had been in the preceding 2.
Yeah.
But didn't want to be in 7.
And I think I saw up to 5, and then I was like,
Oh, you got further than me. I jumped out at 3. Once it was the prequel one where it was set in the Old West at 4, I was like, no.
But you love Wild Wild West stuff.
Wiki Wild Wild West.
Back to the Future 3, Wild Wild West stuff.
Yeah, the worst of the Back to the Futures. Moving on.
He got called out on another podcast because of 132.
132.
Taylor James played Sexy Santa, who has also appeared in Justice League as one of the Atlanteans.
Yeah.
Justice League or Zack Snyder's Justice League?
In both.
Fuck you.
He was in Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia or Zack Snyder's Mamma Mia?
Well done. Yeah.
Here we go again.
And he was also in an episode of Red Dwarf.
He was as Angry Simulant or something?
Big Simulant Advisor.
There we go.
So there you go. That's a bit of fun. And just because I felt interested, because I knew we'd end up talking about him, James Roday Rodriguez played the Creep.
Oh, okay.
Star of Dukes of Hazzard, who was in the wonderful remake they did of that.
The Johnny Knoxville.
That's the one.
Oh, and the singing lady. What's she called?
Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson. Yeah. Wow, that's a terrible film.
He was in that. He was in a film called Replicate, which looks like a Multiplicity knockoff, where it's the same person just multiplying themselves over and over.
Yes, please. I love Multiplicity.
And he was also the star of Psych, if anyone can remember the TV show Psych.
Oh, Christ. Yeah.
He was one of the leads in that.
Yeah. I remember quite liking Psych.
Yeah, they are still rocking out a film every 2 years at the moment.
Really?
There is one coming out next year, apparently. So that is still a thing, Psych, apparently. So yes, this was written and directed by a gentleman named Mitch Davis. Now, let's see if we can guess what his sort of career is like. His other films were...
He's got other films? That's
the other side. The Other Side of Heaven. The Other Side of Heaven 2, Fire of Faith, and Joseph Smith, American Prophet.
I feel like these are films that are going to be watched. These are films that are going to be watched by the sister podcast, which Joe will be on.
What? All the religious ones? I'm not doing another one, right?
I mean, the second one there definitely says like a.
No, they sound like religious. They sound like religious films.
Heavily religious.
But also, what was it? The Other Side of Heaven, and then the other side of heaven.
Yeah,
that's hell. Then surely.
Heaven 2 is the other. Yeah, absolute nonsense. This film was released on the 6th of December in the film 2015. It did actually get a cinema release.
Yeah, which is normally against the rules, but it's Christmas.
Grossing a grand total worldwide of $164,839. So not even a bad weekend for a crap film.
I think it was a very limited release.
It would need to be
Patrick Stewart, his wife.
Yeah,
Captain Picard, call him by his real name.
Larry King's wife. Literally sat in the cinema going, "I made this for you."
Was that his wife's voice? I don't know.
Yes.
I think it was Aslan from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, actually.
Sorry, Craig, that's not going on your impressions list.
No, that's fine. I couldn't pull a Larry King out of my ass. Thus ends Craig Facts for this week. Let's get these hopefully awful reviews out of the way.
Yeah, well. IMDb, the first sort of 5 of these, a 10 out of 10, great. I'm like, director's family. Yeah. So, digging about a bit. Long Road to Nowhere by Buzzin662388. December 2015. So,
when it came out.
When it came out, yeah.
Maybe they saw it at the cinema.
It doesn't look like it. Sat down with the girlfriend thinking, let's watch a Christmas movie. We were both excited by the idea of another funny Christmas flick, especially coming out at that time. We made a mistake. It cost us an evening. Absolute waste of time. The reviews were a lot higher a few days ago, which makes me think maybe it's the creator's friends jumping in. 2 stars for effort, but this has nothing but frustrating, and I can't for the life of me imagine who it would appeal to. It wasn't bad acting. It was simply unlikable characters with zero story. Like a bunch of unfunny skits thrown together with no actual direction. Why? Why would you make this? Doesn't matter how many times you've seen Jingle All the Way or The Santa Claus, watch anything that makes you laugh at least once, even for a 5th time over. Don't ever look at this movie. This is the first and only review I will ever write on here. I just had to warn people.
Spot on.
Kudos, sir.
I mean,
everything we all felt.
It is, yeah. This is the 10 out of 10.
They were generous with the 2 stars for effort.
There was like 2 bits in it where I laughed. One was the man on fire, so...
I enjoyed part of it, and it would have been higher, but unfortunately, Rapey Lift just kept bringing it down again.
They cut back to that a lot.
Yeah, just kept bringing it back down again. So every time it would creep up to like a 3 or a 4, we'd cut back to him like forcibly putting makeup on her face, and I was like,
making her spin round while he takes pictures of her.
Yeah,
we didn't mention it, but he did try to ask her out at the end.
Yeah, but she said, "I have a boyfriend," and he was like, "Oh, okay, then bye." Because it's just another body for him, isn't it?
Yeah. Just another warm place.
10 out of 10. Charming and thoughtful with a few surprises by C.K. Steele for December 2015. Again, all these are from December 2015, I've just realised.
Yeah.
I like movies with interesting characters and witty dialogue that carries a message. This movie gave me all 3.
Director wrote this.
Some characters were charming, others quirky, and a few carried scars or burdens that seemed to lurk below the surface of their social mask.
What?
Director wrote this.
Who?
It showcased humanity within the context of comedy and left me pondering about some of the characters even after the movie was over. I love the idea that many of our lives overlap without ever even knowing, and that our impact on other people makes a difference for good or bad.
Yeah, I saw Pulp Fiction as well.
I mean, yeah. Adding... Was it 37 short films about Springfield? Adding to the ambience of the film is the context of everything taking place on Christmas Eve, which elevated the charm and sentimentality. Definitely worth the watch. I forgot it was at Christmas
Could have
Eve.
been any other day.
I think Gary Cole at one point has to forcibly have a line that says it is Christmas Eve, and that's the only time it's mentioned in like 80 minutes.
I genuinely forgot that it was at Christmas Eve until the end when they were like, "It's Christmas Day," and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, it is." You're right.
That's when you realise that Patrick Stewart should have been dead because he was outside in the cold all night.
Yeah,
he was on the outside of an exposed to the elements for at least 12 hours.
On Christmas Eve in New York.
In just a coat. Yeah. And he was bleeding from his head as well, so...
Rest in peace, Patrick.
Yep. Well, and finally, the last bad review of the turd sandwich. I've seen Patrick Stewart act, so I know he can, but he doesn't do it in this. Like, Steve 112. I really can't think of anything positive to say. No. Really nothing. The first 4 reviews on here, in chronological order, were obviously written by the director until he thought, fuck it, and trying to convince people otherwise. Annoying, obnoxious characters. 0 plot. I'm only writing this now because I have to write 10 lines for IMDb to count it. Why is this even a film? It doesn't make sense. A few concise comments are all that are needed. Is that enough? I can't be bothered to scroll back up to count. I wouldn't waste my time with this.
I know we go through his mental breakdown.
Yeah.
That was like a train of thought thing. It was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
That review had more story than this film.
It made me care more about Ab Steve. Anyway, yeah, I'm like, are you all right, Ab Steve? Yeah, it was. Apart from the first 4 or so of them, I think Rotten Tomatoes, it's down near the bottom end of it. It's
I think it's a 0%. Yeah,
it's bad.
It's going to be one of those films where you'd ask Patrick Stewart about that. You go, did I film that? Did I?
I don't even remember.
Yeah. Most of them would be like that, apart from the director-writer and Larry King.
Larry King financed it. He wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Oh, he sold some of his braces. Yeah. Like to let people know they should go and listen to Fuck My Work Life, which is, exactly what it sounds like. Every episode, Jay and Kay take you through the best, worst stories of everyday people's work lives. It's better than it sounds. I'm not very good at selling these things. That's the problem. But I think they both work together in the same way that we all work together. Yeah. So there is like common underlying stories, what people write in with their stories and stuff, and it is a universal experience of shitty bosses and stuff like that.
Add it to the download list then.
It's very, very good. It makes me laugh very often. You can follow them on Twitter at FMWL Pod, or look up Fuck My Work Life on wherever you get your podcasts from. It's very. I need to work on presenting these better. I really do. But yeah.
Grant. In conclusion, that was Christmas Eve. Do we have final thoughts? Because, God, I'm done with it.
I hope the next one's better.
It has to be.
I think
otherwise, we're in the breaking legs category.
48 Christmas wishes.
No. No, I think we're going to do, because you weren't here, I think we're going to, as a treat for you, Craig, we're going to do the Leah Thompson one.
Oh, lovely.
I think it's called Sexy Christmas Table or something.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes. Yes, please.
Well, it's got Leah Thompson and it's got Winnie from the Wonder Years in it as well. So
Yes.
Grant.
Can't be worse than this.
No, it really can't. So we'll
unless somehow
beat next time.
A drill comes out of the TV and murders me, it can't be worse than this.
Or the plot of the other film is literally them all stuck in an elevator, having very pithy dialogue.
It was pithy, it'd be fine, but it wasn't.
No.
Why are we still talking about this film?
It's breaking legs too, isn't it?
It is breaking legs too.
Electric Boogaloo.
Right, we'll be back next time.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing. I was like, am I supposed to say something?
Is Dante's Inferno like Dante's Peak?